What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to the new review era. Today we'll be taking a look at this guy right here, the Focus Gamma SS from 313 Inc. You can pick this up for $45 plus shipping. I do believe at one point there was an option for it to come with copper caps. They don't have that option anymore. But they do sell the copper caps separately for $15. So if you really wanted to, you can buy them separately and throw them on there. But be warned, they don't work with all spinners. Let's go over the size and weight on this guy. So I'm going to tell you right away, this guy is a beast. It's 122 grams of stainless steel. It doesn't look overly big. It is rather thick, so that's probably where most of that extra weight comes from. It has a 50 millimeter spin diameter. The body itself is 12 millimeters thick, and it's 17 millimeters thick cap to cap. The arms are actually the exact same size as the Focus arms, just thicker. And they're actually, I don't know if you can see this, but this is just like a very small chamfer on that. And this guy is just like completely rounded. You can feel a little bit of a edge here where it comes to a stop on the curve, and it almost kind of looks like there's just like a plastic or like a metal sticker on there that you could peel off, but I assure you it's not. There, you can see it very well there, but it is machined very nicely. Everything's nice and smooth, and they don't do any finishing work to it. So once it comes out of the machine, this is exactly how it comes out. They don't do anything else to it. And considering that, the finish is actually very nice. You can see the machining marks. Most people know I don't like brushed finishes or machine finishes that are like rough, but this isn't bad. It's not quite woosah smooth, but I don't mind that. I can live with that. The caps on this guy are actually very nice. They're more of a pinch grip style. You can do like a flat grip, but they're not as comfortable. And for me, that kind of leads to a little bit of a problem. I find with holding it like this, which is more comfortable to hold, you get more like hand fatigue in here. I had a rough week at work. I have like burns all over my hands. 3-deck oven, I hate that thing. But yeah. It's just, you can really start to feel it in here when you hold it like that and after a certain amount of time. It's one of those spinners that I tend to hold a little higher on my finger. Kind of like that. And as for like fidgeting with this guy, when pulling it feels very much like a cog. I've made a post on Facebook the other day that it's the try that spins like a cog. And it at least pulls like a cog. It feels like a cog when you're pulling it. Flicking, you can get your finger in there, so that's not too much of an issue. But we were talking about the caps. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. I don't know how they do that, but it's very nice. These caps are like a 3D printed stainless steel, I believe is what it said. I don't even know how you do that or what that involves or how it's different. but it has this nice little pattern which I'm digging, and the caps themselves are very pleasing to the eye to look at. But let's take them off and have a look underneath. Cap 1, Cap 2, and there you have your snap ring retention method. It's not my favorite. I have both these guys here, and I've never taken the bearing out of it. Probably because it's got that snap ring. And to be perfectly honest with you, it's a different bearing. It's not a regular R188. While it's the same size and diameter, it's thinner. I don't know if you can see that in there. The inner post is, it's not very steep. So these caps are pretty much designed to work exclusively for this spinner. They don't even work on the other Focus V2. And while they will go on other spinners, they're going to sit very high. That high, pretty much. And that's going to be pretty tall. So if you don't mind that huge gap, then they'll work. I bring this just because this is pretty heavy too, and this is still heavier than this guy. And this is out here for balance, and because I just got it, and it's gorgeous. This thing is so nice. It feels a lot, because of its roundness, but it's completely different. Let's lean that up just right. Anywho, I guess we can get these caps back on. Female underneath. Male slides on top. Screw, screw, screw. Make sure it's tight because it rubs. There. Screw, screw, screw. Make sure it's tight because it rubs. There. Satisfaction. So I've been really enjoying this guy, I'm not going to lie. Well, it isn't the most flickable, just because the gap is so small in there. It is a joy to pull. Like I said, it spins like a cog because you're really always grabbing from the outside of the arm. Very rarely does your finger land in that space, and even when it does, it still feels like you're pulling from the outside. Pulling like this, not a problem. Flicking, you're usually going to have to pull back a little bit to get a decent flick. Unless you do one of those. And then you're just rolling off the top of your finger, really. Which actually works. I just discovered it works fairly well. It's not uncomfortable at all. A little tiki-taka. Teeter-totter, jib-jab, whatever you want to call it. It's not the best for that because I feel like your finger's pulling off just the flat top of the bar a lot of the time, or the arm. but I don't know. I'm really enjoying this. It doesn't check all the boxes, but it checks enough of the right ones for me anyway, in my style, that I'm enjoying it. I really wish that the finish on this, how rounded was the same as this. They need to come out with a Focus V3 SS this thick. Same nice rounded edges. Would be really nice. That's pretty much it. I did bring this guy out just for a size comparison, just so you can see how thick this guy is. The arms, the very outer arms are pretty much the same, but then this guy dips in a lot, whereas this just stays solid. I believe this is around 111 grams, something like that. So this is about 11 grams more. Like I said, it doesn't feel too heavy in your hand, so it's not bad. I have a bunch of spinners that I've gotten in that I still need to review, but I figured there hadn't been a review on this, so I should do this guy first. But it is nice. Not the best flicker. Not horrible, but not the best. Am I covering everything here? I think so. That's it. I got nothing else. You already know the deal. Until next time, live long and spin on. Like, sub, share. Please.